Hello, drafters. I'm Felonious. Thanks for joining. Throw me a like and a subscribe if you don't mind. And we're here for the Arena Open Day 2, Draft 1, trying to win some money this weekend. I like to join the queue a little bit later in the 2-hour window. It's my strategy. I don't know if it's a real strategy, but I find that the more experienced players start earlier. And so the drafts earlier in the 2-hour window are more difficult. And I say more difficult just because, everyone at the table knows what the best cards are and knows how to follow signals and draft really well and cut out the colors that they want to play. So I like to draft a little bit later in the day, try and leverage my skills that way. So we'll see what happens. All right, this is a pretty decent pack one. Gev is a pretty decent card. It's a pretty good way to start with lizards. I also see a bunch of white cards here I really like. I see this Overprotect that I'm a big fan of. Gev is quite strong though, especially as a first pick. Just to put us right into lizards. You can just take a bunch of scales of shale and take out the trashes. I usually like to end up in one of the green color pairs. It's going to be hard to wheel anything good out of this pack. I'm not going to get that saber. If I took a white card, I could probably wheel a white or a green card, but instead of just going with rabbits like I usually do, we're going to take this rare, see where it takes us. I like Take Out the Trash as my next pick. Downwind Ambusher is also quite good. Downwind Ambusher is quite good, but I think I want this Take Out the Trash. Cheap removal is going to be good for lizards. See another carrot cake and thinking I might have missed out on that last carrot cake. Yeah, maybe I do need to take the Downwind Ambusher. The card is quite good. I'm going to take the cheaper card because I think they're close. Okay. There's a Hunter's Talent in this pack. There's also a Blacksmith's Talent. Man. Well, I don't really want to end up in raccoons, but Hunter's Talent is so good. I mean, that's very much a first pickable card. I'm feeling a little disappointed in myself for not just taking the Overprotect or the Carrot Cake pack one. Trying to do something unique, but it's okay. I'll take Hunter's Talent because it's the best card in the pack. Binary Mentor is next, but that card's very good. And then we have a Sticky Tongue Sentinel to follow up the Hunter's Talent. Yeah, I don't see black-red cards that are really shouting at me. I see this Life Creed duo, and I'm thinking about white cards, but I'm going to take the Sticky Tongue because I already have Hunter's Talent. I know I have this Take Out the Trash, but that doesn't mean I want to really commit to red. Because Roughshod Duo is a far shot worse than these other common creatures in black, I think. I think I might take this Bonebind Orator or this Agate Blade Assassin. I'll take the Orator and see what happens. I know I passed that Vine Reap Mentor, so it's going to be tough for me to go into black-green. Red-green's not necessarily where I want to be, though. Starscape Cleric over Glide Dive Duo. Glide Dive Duo is quite good. Starscape Cleric is also quite good, and it's a 2-drop. I saw another Glide Dive duo in these packs as well. Hunter's Talent's awesome. And I should have taken that Agate Blade Assassin to stay more open in Lizards, but that's okay. We're going to take the Glide Dive duo and see where the rest of our picks take us. Downwind Ambusher would make this pile look a lot better. I think Agate Blade Assassin would also be a lot better because of the Starscape Cleric here, but I like Bonebind Orator. And though it's not a heck of a lot better than Agate Blade Assassin, I think it's a more versatile pick. It plays a more valuable role in a wider number of decks. Early Winter is a card that I could play. I really don't like playing Early Winter, though. I'm going to take this Hidden Grotto. And, man, thinking about the white cards. I'm going to take this Hidden Grotto. Don't need that Early Winter. Man, good white cards. Sinister Monolith is pretty decent with Starscape Cleric. And I think it's a little too late to move into white at this point. Mudflat Village is great. Corpseberry Cultivator is pretty strong. And our deck might look it would either look better if this was a black card, or if that Orator was an assassin. But we're looking at black-green, and we've got some good games so far. I'm glad that I got Starscape Cleric and Glide Dive Duo out of that pack. I like Glide Dive Duo. It's good to see those going late if I'm moving into black. Oh. Wheeling the Agate Blade Assassin, I whined about that whole pack. That's funny. How about that Innkeeper's Talent? That's got to be one of the best cards in the set. It's certainly not Season of Loss, but man, I'd rather be seeing Innkeeper's Talent. Card's awesome. What a great way to start out pack 2. Not really the kind of thing I want to see. Pick 2. I could take this Ravine Raider. Because I don't think I need another Glide Dive Duo. I could take this Blacksmith's Talent with the idea that maybe I'll be playing red. I think I'm just going to take this Ravine Raider because the chances I play 3 Glide Dive Duos, I think that's low. And Ravine Raider with Innkeeper's Talent is good. I see Coiling Rebirth, and I don't care. I want this Saber. Coiling Rebirth with Glide Dive Duo is pretty strong, actually. But we're going to take Saber because it is cheap removal. It's the best card in that pack. Scales of Shales. We have a couple Lizards too. At least 4. up a few more removal spells. This deck would look a lot better with a down 1 Dambusher and an Overprotect, but hey. Can't win them all. Ruthless Negotiation. That's a good card. I like Sunshower Druid. But Ruthless Negotiation is going to do some damage. I don't necessarily need the Druid. I mean, it's good with Starscape Cleric. But I think Negotiation is going to go a little bit further in this deck. Sunshower Druid's pretty good with Innkeeper's Talent, but we're going to go with Negotiation. Oh, nice. Another Starscape Cleric. Yeah, that's great. We have several ways to be gaining life. We do not have enough removal spells. But we've got pack 3 to pick some of those up. And my colors do seem to be somewhat open. Head of the Homestead is a nice pickup. I don't really care about these cards. Intimidator's fine. Wear Downs, there are better options. Ooh, wow. Pick 8 Longstock Brawl? That's awesome. That's exactly what we needed. Some cheap removal. And the way I'm arranging my cards is, by removal, by value. And Scales of Shale could be considered a removal spell, but it's more of a pump spell. I'm going to put that along with my value cards. I don't need another Sinister Monolith, even though I do have 2 Starscape Clerics. I'd rather just have another Agate Blade Assassin, I think. Because Sinister Monolith isn't that good, and I don't want to be playing 2 of them. We'll get this Blacksmith's Talent out of the pool. And with how not open green has been, I'm surprised that Longstock Brawl went to pick 8. I mean, a second Sinister Monolith with 2 Starscape Clerics does sound kind of nasty, but I'd rather just stock up on Agate Blade Assassins. Have a lot of ways to drain them. There's some really strong synergy here. Agate Blade Assassin is a great card to be pumping up with Innkeeper's Talent, too. Gets bigger and bigger, keeps you alive. High toughness creatures are good ones to be making larger. They quickly become out of reach of removal spells and double blocks. All right, pack 3. What do we got? Valley Rockcaller, another Drainer. We have tons of bats and lizards. 4 bats, 6 lizards. We might even have a squirrel. I see the Saver as well, but Rockcaller's a good card. It's a rare. It's exactly the kind of thing we want to see. I don't know if I call it a bomb, but for us, it's looking kind of bomby. Ooh. And I wish I had more cards to trigger that Valley Might Caller. That card is really strong. But I don't. I have 1 squirrel. Frog, rabbit, raccoon, squirrel. I have a frog, rabbit, squirrel. But I'll take another Rockcaller. No problem. I kind of wish I had that Sunshower Druid, but Ruthless Negotiation. Feed the Cycle. I don't have that many foods, but it is removal. It's just real solid removal. Even without any food creators, you can end up foraging mid game. Don't even have to wait till late game. My 3-drop slot's a little light, and the Hazard Root Herbalist lets me do some things. This doesn't count rabbits, so it's slightly worse for that. I could just take another Bonebind Orator, but I'm going to take the Herbalist. Okay. I don't really have one food there. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take an Orator here, because I can't use the Bonecash Overseer. I'll put in Early Winter. This is best of 3. Maybe I'll need another removal spell. Herbalist is pretty good with my flyers and my Rock Collar too. Push in an extra damage on turn 3 while leaving back a solid blocker. Moonrise Cleric. That is exactly what this deck needed. What a great pickup. Another one? Or splashing for the Mentor? I don't really have ways to splash. I have the Hidden Grotto. I don't have any other forms of splash. I'm just going to take another Cleric. That 5-drop would be strong in my deck, but the Clerics are going to curve out better with the rest of my cards. Any tokens? No, not really. Possible that could make the cut. I don't think Herbalist is going to make the cut now that I have some meaningful 3-drops. Just separate this out real quick. All right, what do we got here? Great cards. Deck looks strong. The Head of the Homestead doesn't look that good in my deck. It doesn't trigger my Valley Rock Caller. It's not a Glide Dive duo. Excuse me. So now we have to cut a card. We got 16 creatures. We want that Ravine Raider because we're aggressive and we want to be pinging them down early and often. I want those Agate Blade Assassins and the Starscape Cleric for the Starscape Clerics, and I think I want these Orators to get back my Rock Callers and Duos. This Ruthless Negotiation might be the worst card for me, but it's not a bad card. All right. Oh, I thought I muted my keyboard. I was just consorting with a friend about his experience this weekend with the Open. So, Ruthless Negotiation. I mean, Sinister Monolith is not a very good card, but I think it's pretty strong with Starscape Cleric and with the other things I've got going on. Thornplate Intimidator will cause problems for my opponent. And it helps me curve out. Makes 2 more rats for the Rock Caller sometimes. We're taking out Ruthless Negotiation. Part of me wants to play an early winter. I think this deck looks pretty solid. Definitely a chance of me flooding out. I look kind of flood prone. But I have these Starscape Clerics for like later on, and I have the Orators. Hunter's Talent. Get back with Sticky Tongue. I just look like I'm a little flown to flood. A little bit prone to flood. Then I get to play my Sinister Monolith. All right. I don't think I need to play Sinister Monolith as much as I like the idea. And I don't necessarily need Ravine Raider either. It's going to be a pretty weak top deck for me. I'm not going to cut any lands, and I'm just going to add Early Winter. Give myself 1 more removal spell. It's either Early Winter or Ruthless Negotiation. I think I'd rather have Ruthless Negotiation in there. I can side in Early Winter if I want. This gives me some more value. Makes me a little bit less prone to flooding and losing to card advantage. All right, we're cutting the Ravine Raider and the Monolith strategy. And we're just going to drain them the old-fashioned way. With Agate Blade Assassins, Starscape Clerics, and Moonrise Clerics. Keep thinking about that Sinister Monolith and how it gives my deck some reach. I have the reach with Glide Dive Duos and Orators. It'll give my deck an air of inevitability. We'll see what the games look like. Maybe I can side it in. Ruthless Negotiation is a lot better in decks where you are making them discard other cards. But it's also kind of a 2-for-1, especially because it makes them exile. I know Sinister Monolith isn't very good, so I'm just going to not play it. I feel good about this. Let's give it a shot. We need 3 wins to make it to draft 2. We need 4 wins for draft 2 to be a little bit breezier. Get double elim instead of single. We did not win the die roll. We did not get a very good hand to start with. But this deck is mostly black. So I'm going to keep this on the draw since I have some game. Will he kill my rot caller? It looks like it. No, he will not kill my rot caller. That is not something that I want him to have alive. Well, maybe it'll drain him down. I don't want him to be drawing extra cards, even if it does cost him life, because he'll just answer the rot caller and then flood me with card advantage. Drown me in card advantage, I should say. But see what we can do. I think the likelihood of him blocking there was pretty low, but I wanted to take the chance. Hit him hard. It's pretty strong. Gain some life. Try to stay ahead in this race. I'm afraid to play the Glide Dive duo, but it's not like I can play Moonrise Cleric and Scales of Shale this turn, so I'll just play this out into whatever sort of removal he has. Oof, another land for him. The Flying Dark Confidant. I don't like this. Oh, dang. I need one more black mana to be able to cast all three. I think I should Scales of Shale that because it's going to be worth another like 4 damage next turn. Gets rid of a squirrel. I could just trade for the mascot and then keep up my Scales for next turn when I attack in with the duo and the cleric. No. I'm just going to do it now. Make sure I can get some more life next turn. See if his Darkstar Augur just kills him. He has gotten 3 lands off that Darkstar Augur and a Bark Form Harvester. That is quite strong. That 3-drop creature has cost him 3 life and drawn him 4 cards. I think I'm just going to take it all. Ooh, that's strong. And he has more. That was a good draw. That was a very good draw. And that's game 1. Way to go, Rockcaller. Rockcaller dealt him 8 damage that game. He definitely has some low power cards, but he wanted to play as many squirrels as possible with Camellia. We're going to put Early Winter in for that Camellia. I think Thornplate Intimidator is going to be kind of weak against him, given all the extra things that he makes. So maybe I just play another early winter or a ruthless negotiation. When he has a threat like Camellia, it makes me want to put in another removal spell. Ruthless Negotiation is not going to do much against his Darkstar Augur. I don't really want to put in another 5-drop, though. Thornplate Intimidator blocks that 5/4. Yeah, we'll go with this. I can get behind this hand, especially when my opponent doesn't play a 2-drop. Oh, he has Saver. Saber doesn't kill the Rockcaller. I know that. He's going to feed the cycle to Rockcaller. He's got PTSD from it. It dealt him a lot of damage last game. Another Rockcaller coming to theaters near you. Remember, he has Saber. Okay, so he has a High Stride. Maybe. He might be bluffing. So I want to let him use his High Stride this turn, is the question. I think I do. Let's take out the Rockcaller. Yeah, works for me. Darkstar Augur might have killed him for me, but I don't want him drawing 4 lands again. That was a precarious position to be in last game. He still has Saber. I guess it didn't have to be Saber. It could have been High Stride. Hmm. It is a saber. But Starscape or playing Scales of Shale on that wouldn't have um, gotten me a card out of it anyway, so I'm cool running into that. Let's get that clock going. Combo. It's not a block he wants to make. Didn't even gain his life. This is looking pretty good for us. Oh, look, a Lumra. I have this early winter right on top. Let's see, if I just play this, I'll be down to 5. I'll just be dead when I attack, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's just make it fancy. That's game 1. Let's keep it going. On the draw again. Pretty decent hand, though. My opponent took a mulligan. I like that. My opponent took a second mulligan. I like that even more. Not to be selfish, but it's open day. You don't want your opponents to do well. Oops. I would like to trade with this Dowerport Mage, and by trade I mean kill it. Yes, this is exactly what I want to be doing. Not while he has mana up. Guess I could just pump up the Innkeeper's talent, start making huge things. Making up for his card deficit with the Dowerport Mage pretty well. If he blows up my Innkeeper's talent with a Hivespine Wolverine, then all of a sudden, he's in very good shape. That's not what's going to happen here. Innkeeper's talent is sweet. Dowerport Mage is awesome. That's one of my favorite rares to play with in this set. He sure is drawing a lot of cards. I'll give him that. Dowerport Mage has drawn him 4 cards. It's okay. I don't need to offspring it. That's game 1. Dowerport Mage. If he's in green-blue, he probably has a Lily Splash Mentor. Some other reachers that I'm going to want early winter. Thornplate Intimidator might be weak. I could try and run him out of cards with Ruthless Negotiation. Might not be the worst play. I think I'm just going to put in the early winter, keeping the pressure with the Intimidator. I have a lot of ways to make my opponents lose life without attacking them. Or without dealing combat damage to them, I should say. Most of it requires attacking. Get this Sentinel out there. Next turn I can play the Assassin and a Saber. Hopefully he doesn't kill my Sentinel. We shall see. I didn't want to use Saber on the Baker's Bane duo. That's nice. That's very nice. My opponent did nothing with 4 mana. Does he have a counter spell? He does not have a counter spell. Is it a removal spell? It would have been nice to keep up the Saber for that. It's a shame. He played that well. That is what I wanted to happen. I wonder what he has. We're going to run straight into it. Oh, wow. Wow, that's strong. What an answer. These Starscape clerics are still going to run away with the game. If I have anything to say about it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Not quite lethal. That's 2 wins. Bats and squirrels. All right, we need 1 more win to qualify, and we need 2 more wins because we can. Let's do it. Oh no. Well, two unkeepable hands in a row. What can you do? I guess I'll keep that on top. We can win with 5 cards. Done it before. Oof. Sometimes you get real bad luck. That would be a very nice card to have survive. I don't like the fact he has all that open mana. I want a Longstock Brawl, his Thought Shocker, kind of, but I don't want to give him a fish. I wonder if he would have countered that Longstock Brawl. Well, that's a much better card to use Longstock Brawl on. I guess I could threaten the attack. He won't block, though. Ooh. That's pretty strong. If I could draw a land next turn, that would be sweet. Well, that's not bad. Deal. That's not ideal. That is... Let's see, how much life will I gain? I'll be able to attack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 13. And I'm going to gain 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm counting on him not adding 4 damage to the board. He effectively has 6 life. just gets rid of my Moonrise Cleric. I could be dead. Must have something. Seven mana. Or 5 mana and 6 life. You know, all manner of answers. My hold on this game is not very tight. It was a mull to 5 after all. Gaining life on his turn. Why would he need to do that? Got him. Nice. All right, on to game 2. Man, that mull to 5. Oh man, a mull to 5 win feels great. I think Ruthless Negotiation is probably a good card in this matchup, especially when he's playing things like two Gossip's Talents and Bumbleflower's Share Pots. I don't think Early Winter is going to be as important against him. I like my list. Let's do it. Let's secure that draft 2 spot with one more game win. I don't like Starscape Cleric to be the 2-drop. Perfect. Doesn't have to be. It's a pretty strong turn 3 play. I'm going to get a Cleric out there and start beating down. Yeah, I'm just going to get it out there. That way I have a blocker. Oh, he chose to discard the bounce spell? That makes sense. If I could draw a land, I can do some fun things with Scales of Shale and Hunter's Talent next turn. Gain 12 life this turn. Not a bad way to spend turn 5. Now I get to play Moonrise Cleric and bump up my Hunter's Talent to level 2. Oh yeah, get in there for 2. Do it, Fackles. We'll upgrade. And I'm just going to leave back my Intimidator. I don't really have any reason to attack with it. He gets to double block and not take any damage from the trample. I don't have lethal in the air next turn, but it's close. Close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a good answer to that. It's been a good game, Fackles. And that's an invitation to day 2, draft 2, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get one more win. Why not? We're here. We got time. We got a sweet deck. Let's get that 4th win. Make draft 2 a little bit easier on ourselves. I mean, the consistency in my deck is pretty wild with all of the Rot Callers and Agate Blade Assassins with the Starscape Clerics and 3 Glide Dive duos. The drain is real. Ooh, that's tempting, just because I have Innkeeper's Talent in my hand. Man. I don't want to go down to 5 again. Counterspell? I don't know. I think that this keep was fine because I had a play on turn 3. I'm certainly not drawing swamps, though. I do have a lot of swamps in this deck. 10 black sources, I believe. That's not the kind of thing that I wanted to see my opponent do on turn 3. Going to 5 might have been the choice here. Or even keeping that first hand just because it had Innkeeper's Talent in it. Oh well. It's probably going to be too late. All right, that was lame. All right, well, let's not have that happen again. I still think that that keep was just fine. I could have kept the first hand too, with the same logic that I have 10 black sources and a turn 2 Innkeeper's Talent, but oh well, here we are with an Innkeeper's Talent. He does have Paw Patch formation, and it will suck if he has it in hand. But what can you do? Of course he's got it. We have skirted by for one turn. At least for now. Yeah, I should have gotten another counter on that cleric, I guess. Knowing he has Scrap Shooter. Moonrise Cleric would look a lot better with another counter on it. Yeah, I mean that was foolish. I should. I know that the Orator is a blocker anyway. Yeah, I wasn't using my full head there. I didn't necessarily expect him to play Scrap Shooter right away, but you know that is my fault. Well, I guess I'll block the Pawn Prophet, and make him do something weird about it. Okay. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Right? I just attack. Get him for those two and another six. And then next turn, I get to drain him out. Starscape Clerics coming in clutch. I mean, if he plays anything that makes a food, then I'm probably in trouble. And with my assassin and my food, it's just lethal because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does he have Polywallop? All right, that's game 2. So we need to win game 3. And I need a quick bathroom break. All right. Did we decide we wanted to do anything differently? Nope. Here we go. This is for double elim. Let's win. Nice keepable hand. I haven't seen a rock collar in a few games. It's a nice surveil. Should I wait to drop the rock collar, I wonder? Yeah, I'll just get my assassin out there for now. Rock collar would have been a good play for that. Oops. Let's see if we can draw a Starscape Cleric or two before we start playing our duos. Oh, he has that flash guy that untaps everything. Man, that's annoying. The flash guy that untaps everything and something else. I wonder what it is. Well, we're going to find out. Or are we? Should I wait another turn? Valley Floodcaller and Runaway together. Those are the two cards that he has. Oh, cash grab with the Floodcaller? That makes sense. I guess I should have attacked. I'm fucking boring. Well, Valley Floodcaller. He had the perfect answers. Nothing I could have done there. I could have attacked out, and then he would have played the Floodcaller, untapped all of his creatures, made great blocks. Everything would have been dead the next turn when he played Paw Patch formation. None of his creatures would have died, and he would have just swung out for the win. So there was nothing I could do there. What a bummer. Definitely should have gotten 4 wins with this pile, but we'll just have to win everything in the finals. Thanks for watching. I'm Felonious. Peace.